In this episode of Science Foundations, we're asking the question, what are some parts of a flower? Well, right here I have some beautiful lilies that we're gonna tear apart and learn about flower parts. Some parts of a flower are petal, anther, stamen, pistil, sepal. Let's start out by talking about what scientists consider to be the male parts of the flower. They're the parts that don't produce the seed directly, but instead produce the pollen that fertilizes for the seed. We're going to take a look at those male parts right here in this beautiful lily. So let's separate this one from the rest and take a look right inside here. So let's peel back these petals and take a look at these parts on the inside of this flower. Now, many flowering plants have these parts, but they aren't always so obvious or so large. I chose one of these lilies because they have really big parts that are easy to identify. Right here, we have the stamen. These are the male parts of the flower. In fact, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stamen in this lily. Now, each stamen is capped with an anther at the top, right here. This little thing on the top that's barely attached is where the pollen is made that then will fertilize the flower. Some flowers can fertilize themselves. If that pollen gets over to the female parts, it'll produce its own seeds. Next, we're going to take a look at the pistil. The pistil of this flower is the female part right down the center. I'm going to move this to the side so we can see it better. Right in here is the pistil, and it comes up here to this part on the top, which this top bit is where the pollen lands, connects to, and then the reproductive material would travel down to fertilize the seeds, which are in here and will develop from this part of the flower. There's a couple other parts I want to cover next because they're really obvious and most flowers have them. One are petals. I've been knocking them off of this one this whole time. But these petals are beautiful in color. And most people don't realize the petals of a flower are really just the leaves. So it's basically this with some color added to it to look beautiful and attract insects. Do you see this bud right here of this lily? This bud is covered in these green things that look like petals. Technically, those 3 green pieces are called sepals. Each one can peel back and reveal the real petals on the inside. So I'm going to peel those back. And these sepals are there to protect the bud and protect the flower so it does its best job showing off when it's time to attract bugs or just look beautiful for us. Inside of here are the petals. Even they are a little bit green colored. But over time, these sepals on the outside even develop that pink color that you see on the petal. So the inside has petals, the outside is protected with sepals, and then right here in the middle, there's underdeveloped reproductive parts. The stamen, which is that whole piece, the anther, which is the pollen-producing end, that's the male part, and then the pistil, which is here, and that is the female part of the flower.
You've been watching the short versions of Science Foundations. We have full lab videos that can be streamed on our Patreon page or downloaded from our online store. Use the links below to access them. Buy the entire set of 75 episodes of Science Foundations, or just one episode or season at a time as you need them. In addition to the lab videos, we provide you with accompanying educational resources, such as PDF fillable student study guides and teacher guides filled with glossary terms, study guide key answers, suggested home experiments, and field trip ideas. We're constantly adding new resources, such as coloring pages and word finds. We're here to help your students get the most from these great episodes. Get all of them on our Patreon page or our online store.